everybody, welcome to Awesome Comics, your one-stop shop for everything comic book entertainment. I'm your host, Walter Bernasiak, and today we are talking about the top 10 episodes of Batman Beyond. I'm really hyped to do this. This is one of my favorite shows from the DCAU, and we have some great people to talk about it, and I'll introduce them right after I talk about this, the Facebook page, facebook.com/awesomecomicshow. New videos every single Thursday. Give us a like on there. We're approaching 2,000 as the recording of this, so give us some more likes. Maybe we'll give you something special later. Okay, so intros. Let's get into this really quick. Mr. Brian Porter, how's it going, buddy?
What's up?
You ready to talk about Batman Beyond?
Yes.
All right, cool. Miss Heather Roos, how's it going?
Hello, it's going well. Had a lot of episodes to watch, but you know, that's what days off school are for.
Exactly. Ian Wade, how's it going?
Good. I'm basically ready to talk Batman at all times.
You ready to talk about
Let
old?
alone Batman Beyond. I was telling Walter earlier today. I had like the little plastic tableware sets of like the
Yes.
cups,
That's awesome.
and like there were see-through cups and stuff. And you could see Terry McGinnis in the Batman outfit.
know.
And I still have those at my dad's house. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Those exist.
That's fantastic. I want to say before we get really into this that, because I know we're going to get a lot of comments about this. So the Return of the Joker movie, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, we're not going to cover that because that is a movie. Okay, that was a home release. That is not an episode of the show. Also, the episode of Justice League Unlimited called Epilogue is a very Batman Beyond-centric show. A lot of big stuff happened in that. Maybe we'll talk about that at a later date, but that is not an episode of Batman Beyond. So we'll not be talking about that. So let's get into the top 10 episodes of Batman Beyond with number 10!
Where's Terry? Season 2.
Okay, where's Terry? It's a good episode.
It's a very good episode. He gets trapped in a collapsed subway, right?
Yes.
Tunnels.
And there's,
Yeah, it's a cool setting for the story. I think.
Yeah, and he's stuck with this kid who's kind of a little twerp.
Dak?
Yeah.
What a great name. Dak.
Short for Dacry.
Right. Short for Dacry, of course.
Well, I like the morality too that we get to see how moral Terry is as a person.
Yeah.
Of like when he like right in the beginning of the episode when they get trapped, him and the kid, and he can't fit through the like hole he's made in the ceiling, and he's like, okay, well, better one of us get out than neither of us. And
Right.
the kid's like, what? That's
Yeah.
so nuts. And then later the kid has a choice of, being the better person of like
Right.
should he save him or not? Like it's not up to him. He's not a superhero.
Right.
So.
Batman kind of inspires him as a skeptical little kid. Also, we get to see Bruce in action in this, old man Bruce, team up with Maxine, which is a great team up. I would have liked to see more of those two together. Bruce also basically saves the day at the end of this episode. He knocks out Shriek and just like, whatever, bro, and walks away. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, this is a good episode. Not the best, but it is in the top 10. Me and Ayana both put us on our top 10. So go ahead and check out Where's Terry if you get a chance. Okay, number 9.
Number 9 was Blackout from season 1. This is the first time that, Terry basically fights a villain. It's like episode 3, right?
It's a very early, this is Ink's introduction.
Yes, it's the introduction to Ink. It has some cool battle scenes with the way that Ink manipulates and
Yeah.
a couple of cool shots as he's
definitely.
running away from her.
What do you think of Ink as a villain in this series?
Oh, I like Ink a lot. I had initially on my list put Blackout / Disappearing Ink, one of the other episodes that she's in, because I also really enjoy Disappearing Ink as well. But she's a great villain, very interesting,
Definitely.
especially with the idea that like her DNA is kind of degrading, and then once they do freeze her at the end of the episode, spoilers, I guess, I don't know.
We're talking spoilers for all these episodes.
Of course. When they get her frozen at the end of the episode, then she comes back at Disappearing Ink, and like her DNA has degraded to the point where she can't even become a human anymore.
Exactly.
And
Right.
it's very interesting.
See, she has a daughter in another episode, right?
Yes.
Was that
That's
Disappearing
like
Ink?
her like one of her last episodes, I think.
Right.
As we see her daughter, but I like how she's able to like manipulate people. It's very interesting as a
Definitely.
villain.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then she kind of gets her comeback with her daughter, who's
So the whole
just as
disappearing ink, it
manipulative.
was like the love struck heart or whatever.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
But Ink is a really unique villain. I think that after Blackout and besides Disappearing Ink, she pops up in the show a lot.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit overexposed, and she isn't really as special as she was in these first couple episodes and in the last one. But yeah, Blackout is definitely a top 10 episode. They get to use Mrs. Freeze's gun at the end, like you
Yes,
said.
yeah,
We get to see
freezer.
a lot of cool stuff. The penny gets like shoved at them in the Batcave. So we get to see Bruce once again sort of help out Terry, which is really cool.
And kind of partially relive his past a little bit.
Right. Yeah,
You get to
exactly.
see all this stuff.
I just love him putting on the Grey Ghost.
That is.
Yeah.
That's really
That's a fanboy moment for me. Okay, speaking of Mr. Freeze's gun, let's go to number 8. Number 8, Meltdown from season 1. Okay, so Meltdown is a very famous Mr. Freeze episode from this. So basically, Mr. Freeze is still alive, but he's just the disembodied
Which is
head.
horrifying.
I know, he's
Yeah,
just
oh
the
my
disembodied
gosh.
head.
I mean, even his introduction, he's basically saying like, "I wish I could die."
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, for Mr.
Yes.
Freeze, it's another tragedy for him. I mean, because he's such a tragic character to begin with, and we get to see him. He's almost gets redeemed. He's so close, and you
Yes.
can see he so sincerely wants to be redeemed. Like the character is a very strong, sympathetic character, and when you see him come back, he's got a new lease on life. He's got a new body. He's really trying to, help people out, and he says he's sorry to the guy who he killed his family and everything in that graveyard scene. I mean, it's a character that the more you think about, the more it's like, I really wish it would have worked out for him. But as
He's a
Mr.
very
Freeze is,
sympathetic character.
he is.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
A lot
and
of depth of character and
Right.
completion. Like,
yeah, one of my favorites and one of the most memorable episodes of this show.
Right. I mean, it really struck a chord with me.
yeah.
So,
I
I
love
mean,
the
I'm-
new freeze suit, by the way.
Yes.
The new freeze suit is badass. Yeah. He doesn't have the gun anymore, it's just like wrist cannons and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I love that, like, as he busts through the floor, I
Yeah.
think it was he busts through the floor, and that's another ice pun moment. Like,
Yeah.
I kept it in cold
Yeah,
storage.
Something
Like,
I kept in cold
I'm all
storage.
about the ice puns. We've talked about this before. I will just say it every episode. I
good.
love a good ice pun.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Blight. This is the first
Yeah.
time Terry sees Blight. So when
Right.
we get to see Blight versus Mr. Freeze, which is a really cool little fight we get to see, which is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And I love the dynamic between Terry and Bruce in this. Bruce does not trust Mr. Freeze. He's been through it. I
Right.
mean, he knows that he's kind of a good guy inside, but he knows he just can't trust him. Where Terry is the first time he's seeing him, and he really wants to trust him, but things tragically don't work out as well. So at the end, they have a little conversation. It's really nice. So
Yeah.
great episode, great character episode for Mr. Freeze. He doesn't pop up again, but this was a great episode to go on for him. Okay, so moving on to number 7.
Number 7, we've got the Egg Baby from season 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you
That
guys
was a
go ahead and break down the Egg
fantastically
Baby.
This was
ridiculous
actually-
episode.
This actually won an Emmy.
Oh, did it?
No
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And it came out around the time of Return of the Joker, too. So this was about that time frame, too.
Okay.
I listened to the commentary, actually, on the DVDs, and I was really annoyed how much Bruce Timm kept saying it was like such a girl-friendly episode. Like, kept saying it, and I was like, why? Why is that? Because there's babies! There's egg babies. And there was another...
It was like a home ec class or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
home ec
family
class.
science.
Family
Family
studies.
science,
Right.
family
Yeah, family
studies.
studies.
Yeah.
Ever
They
had to
had
take
to-
family studies?
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's like a close-up of someone's screen that says family studies is like boring.
Yeah.
But he has to like take care of this egg, but also still be Batman. And I just love
love-
the idea of having to like deal with both of those. Like all at
Something
once.
realistic and then
Yeah.
also superhero it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
Batman Beyond holding an egg
little
as like a baby is fantastic.
I
And
know.
then
Yeah.
going to, I'm going to go beat these people up and like, oh shit, the baby's kind of about to fall off the
Yeah.
building or whatever. I got to go save the baby. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I
It's
love
a ridiculous
stories when
episode
you
and it's so
have
funny.
someone that's like a teenager or someone that's still going through school, like Buffy, like
Yeah.
where you're trying to like do this whole social thing and school thing, but also you have this commitment to save the world. Like, how are you able to juggle all of those? And this was one of those really good episodes.
A more lighthearted episode. There's a lot of
Yeah.
funny moments in this, but yeah, it's good stuff. So go check
Emmy
it out.
award-winning
Emmy award-winning
episode.
episode. Go
Go
check
check
it
it
out,
out.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 6.
Number 6, Eyewitness, season 2.
Okay, Eyewitness is a really good episode because we get to see this sort of coming to a head of Barbara Gordon, who is the commissioner now of the Gotham Police Department, and Terry, who she doesn't really trust. And this is also kind of getting back at Bruce because they've had a rocky relationship in this storyline.
Well, Bruce kind of has to decide who he trusts more, basically. Like, does he believe Barbara Gordon, who wouldn't lie, but also there's Terry, who he hasn't completely sussed out yet,
Right.
really, but doesn't believe could like go so far as to kill someone. So it's
exactly.
very interesting to see the battlefront. This was actually their first. Bruce Timm was talking about in the commentary. This was their first computer edited.
The first digital
first
episode?
digital episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
You can definitely tell the difference from, because it's still kind of like the old Batman the Animated Series type. It's still streamlined, the animation style, but it's actually sort of like, you know, you see the blips on the screen and stuff. And with the digital episodes, it's much cleaner.
Spellbinder's
Yeah.
a pretty good villain,
He's,
too.
a good new villain.
Yeah.
A good
Yeah.
Batman Beyond villain. for
Because
sure.
I don't know, like, there's some other more interesting episodes, I think, of him as a villain. I don't think this is a very strong, like, Spellbinder episode, per
Right.
se. But I like him. I think he's really frustrating because he can do whatever he wants.
Can do whatever he
basically.
wants.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, and this is a very memorable episode in general because I even remember this episode watching it as a child and just like when you see Spellbinder's illusion of Terry killing him, it's
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah,
my
man.
gosh.
Terry just
Oh
snapped.
my gosh.
Right.
Yeah, very memorable.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Barbara Gordon versus Batman once again.
Yeah.
That's a good episode. Okay, moving on to number 5.
Number 5, Splicers, Season 2.
All right, this is definitely a memorable
this
episode.
I remember,
Yeah.
like you were saying, I remember this from when I first watched it as a
Yeah.
kid.
It gave me
I thought
nightmares when I was a child.
Oh, really?
I do, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a really good episode. I really like the
People are
idea of
creepy.
like combining the the animal
Animal DNA
DNA and
with
then
humans.
changing the way
Yeah.
you look and like it potentially taking over and just how progressive they are in the terms of the body modifications in
Right.
that time frame. It's like
Yeah, that was when it was body mods were like getting to be big, getting to be
Yeah.
like popular things. So this episode was kind of like corresponding to that being in the pop culture.
I'm glad they got to use Ace in this episode.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
Ace
what I
is
loved
awesome.
about
Very
it.
cool. Very cool stuff.
Ace is a badass.
Right. And
He is.
yeah, the "Don't touch my dog" Right, quote from him. Fighting the giant snake bird
Yeah.
Yes.
thing that he turned into at the end. That's great. And then he turned into whatever that abomination. was.
Abomination, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that's
another ending that almost shocked me.
Really?
The way that Terry defeated him is just basically overdosed him. You know, just
Yeah.
took all the rest of the whatever it
Patches
was.
or
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
There's
Definitely.
good music too.
There is good music in this.
Yeah.
I
episode.
think there's always good music. This
There
series
is,
has
but I
great
think
music.
this episode specifically has just a really good score going on. I liked this one.
Yeah.
'Cause enough to like note it more than others. So
I got you. All right, well, let's move on to number 4. Number 4, The Call, parts 1 and 2 from season 3.
That's good.
Superman Beyond. That's all you really got to say.
So
we get
fast,
to see.
black and white.
Yeah, it's a cool
Yeah.
suit, but
Yeah.
it is weird that it's
I love
black
the
and
gray.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little gray on the side, very cool.
Very Mr. Fantastic.
Right. You bring in Superman to this, into this situation. You get to see him react to Bruce and them interact again, and you get to see him talk to the new Batman and Terry and everything. It's very, very cool interactions you get to see, and the new Justice League. You get
Yeah,
to see
you
the
know.
introduction of Warhawk in this episode.
I really
and
liked
Aquagirl.
Last Airbender Green Lantern.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I
Yeah.
thought too. It was
I
like
didn't even watch
Green
Last
Lantern.
But yeah, this was a 2-parter. I mean, these are pretty even in terms of which episode's better technically. Maybe the first episode, because the ending is great because you get to see like the
Yes.
last remnant of a piece of kryptonite that Bruce has kept for all these years.
Yeah.
I like all the cobwebs that are on the side of the wall when he splits the suits apart, and that's where the kryptonite is.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's just
I
a really
really
great
liked
visual.
the whole thing with Warhawk's suit and then the helmet.
Oh,
into the
great
glass.
visual! Yeah,
Yes.
it comes
Like
right
that
there,
looks
and you
awesome.
think
That
he's
was
dead,
really
though.
good, and it was pretty powerful. Like, holy shit, he's
Right.
dead.
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. And then episode 2 of this, part 2, we get to see that Superman has been taken over by Starro for years. They said he's
Right.
been on him for years,
a while, right?
long
Right.
time. I love the moment. Maybe that's my favorite in this is when Batman's going away in the Batmobile, and Superman's like behind him, but he's like not flying regularly. He's like leaned this way because Starro's on him. And they played the Superman theme from the animated series. That's
Yes.
da-da-da, but it's distorted. It's like, and it's all just like creates a really cool moment that's not really Superman, but he's got all Superman's powers. Yeah, a really, really cool visual there. So yeah, it's also kind of a prototype episode for Justice League. We get to see a little team up at the end there,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool. All right, well, that was number 4. Let's go to number 3.
number 3, Dead Man's Hand from season 1.
All right, Dead
That's a
Man's
really
Hand.
cool episode. I
Yeah.
like seeing the. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Yeah. I like seeing the Royal Flush Gang. I
Yeah,
think
this is
this
their
is really
intro.
awesome.
I like
in
the
this.
Royal Flush Gang. I could totally
Yeah.
understand if someone's like annoyed by them, but I like them.
Right.
Like the whole idea of a family of criminals.
Right,
And then
being
the
passed down
powers
from
that they
generation
have,
to
like-
generation.
And
Really?
then marrying people in based on like if they're criminals. Like I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, I think the main reason why we all like this episode is Melanie 10 and
Yes.
Terry's relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool little twist on, because we see that that Terry's with Dana like the entire series.
Right.
So it's cool to see like a little break in the status quo from that.
Yeah.
And it's believable because Terry is very much like an outsider kind of guy. He's very much kind of like a loner. So we get to see him interact with another loner. It's basically like the Catwoman Batman dynamic from Bruce's era. So and they even mention that in the show, which is really cool.
Let me tell
Right,
you
right.
about
Selena Kyle.
Yeah. Let me tell you about a woman named Selena Kyle.
There's some really good action sequences in this episode,
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. There's like some nice tension between Bruce and Terry in this, where they're kind of butting heads about how he should still be going out as Batman, but he wants kind of a normal teenage life. He wants to go out once in a while. And he said, "What's one night? That's not gonna make a difference." Then he grabs him. Bruce grabs him and says, "One night always makes a difference."
Right.
Yeah, great line from Bruce, and you get to see how committed he still is to this. So yeah, I love that moment, and this is a great episode. Okay, moving on to number 2.
Number 2, Rebirth, season 1.
Parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
These are the first 2 episodes of Batman Beyond, and honestly,
They come out kicking.
I know
Yeah,
the
'cause they're
opening
super
opening
strong.
scene is incredible. Yeah, I don't know if it's ever quite reached that peak of that first like 3 minutes. Yeah,
It's great.
This
Yeah.
was my number 1 pick overall for the entire series. I freaking loved the first 2 episodes. It's really cool. Batman
Fantastic.
fighting, and then he has that heart attack. And he almost uses the gun, and he's so
Yes.
shocked by even having the gun. Not even he didn't even use it. He just threatened to use it.
Yeah.
And he was still so shocked by it, and never again. It's just,
Yeah. Never again.
It shows how much Batman hates guns. Snyder.
What are you talking about?
He's right here.
Yeah, what are you talking to, Porter? Come on, I'm cool.
But yeah, it's just really awesome, and it had set a really good tone.
Oh,
for the series.
absolutely.
So
Right.
I really, it's a great episode.
Going into the end of the first episode where we see Terry's father dies, this is his whole origin story is very cool. He doesn't like his father. He's like a rebellious teenager.
Right.
And that disease thing that creates blight from Derek Powers is very interesting too.
Yeah.
And a little scary.
Yeah,
I mean, they show
creepy.
this is our first experiment with livestock, and then it
Yeah,
just
and but it doesn't show you.
You hear the
Right.
cow.
Yeah.
That's how that's how you scare people.
Yeah.
Is you let their imagination do the work. You
Exactly.
show them a little bit, and you're like, okay, so this is what happened to the man day 1. 2 hours after that, and then after that, and then you don't show them the cards, and you're like, what could it be? Because those are so bad.
Right.
So this is one of those episodes that really let your imagination play with you.
Absolutely.
Like, oh God, what could it be?
Right.
And I like the conflict even in the very beginning with Terry and Bruce. Like when
Yeah.
Terry
trying to
takes
pull him
the
out.
suit and like he
Yeah, he
just
steals
freezes
it,
him and
yeah.
lets
Yeah.
him take that beating.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
He's gonna,
Bruce, stop!
Bruce is gonna pretty crotchety
He's gonna
here.
die.
Let him die. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a great 2-parter. It's very close to being the best of the series. So I think you need to go and watch these 2. If anything out of it, a 2-parter, I think you'll enjoy this because it connects back to the original series as well. So go ahead and check that out. We get to see Bruce or Terry's first night as Batman as well. So there's only one episode that's better in this. Let's go to number 1.
Number 1, Out of the Past from season 3.
Out of the
That
past.
is a great episode.
My
Any
favorite
episode that
episode.
opens with Batman the musical is
Right.
fantastic.
Batman.
Oh my god.
That was rewatching it. I did not remember Batman the musical basically like at all, and I was doing other things. I was sewing or I was doing something, and I heard it, and I was like, okay, I gotta stop and sit and like watch this like 10 times because it's amazing.
So good,
Yeah.
right? Well, and it's great because it brings back a whole bunch of the things from the animated series or
Yes.
other Batman lore.
Yeah.
Talia comes back, or
Yeah.
so we think
So we
it's
think.
Talia.
I liked that it was going to be Talia, and then it wasn't.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
How creepy it
got a little
is that
bit-
she kissed Bruce and it's actually Ray.
Yeah.
It's like,
And you're
wow,
like, wait,
he's
what
dedicated.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right? You're
Ew.
creeping me out. That whole yeah,
You're creepy.
creeping you out. She kissed me. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I just like the conflict of Bruce, like, finally, like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and then
Yeah.
just kind of giving in to what he wants.
Right.
Right,
Instead of
going
the
into the
greater good.
Lazarus,
Right.
Yeah.
Lazarus
Lazarus
And
pit.
then
Right.
he's giving
Yeah.
in to Talia.
I think this could have been a really cool arc for like half a season.
That's
where
true.
You could have seen a young Bruce that slowly is getting older, but you get to see him sort of team up with Terry's Batman for like just like even like 5 to 6 episodes of like a cool little arc. But it just
I
as a
liked where they
self-contained
went
episode.
with it. I agree that I would have enjoyed a little short arc of
Yeah,
that,
right.
but I really did like that they kept it short. and
Self-contained
concise,
is still
too.
cool, still cool, but it still could have been a really interesting dynamic between those two.
And it also says a lot for Raish that he sacrificed his
Raish,
daughter
unbelievable.
years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and that just gave him really not too much pause. Like,
Right.
a
He
little
thought
bit,
nothing of it.
but he just, all right, I'm going.
And even the way he puts it, like Talia made the ultimate sacrifice for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Not
No, she
like I
didn't.
killed her.
No, she did.
Like,
Right.
she made the ultimate sacrifice.
Can we agree maybe the best moment of the whole series, one of, if not, is when Bruce and Terry team up and they fight off like the goons at Raish's place, and they play the Batman the Animated Series theme in the Batman
Yes!
Beyond guitar. That's like one of the best like 10 seconds
Yes.
in like animation history.
Right. The whole episode has those little
I
like
love it.
like animated series fangirl
Right.
It
moments
really
where you're like,
does, yeah. Just like a little tip of the hat here. Oh,
Right.
wait, a little tip of the hat
Right.
here.
Even in the beginning when Bruce is looking through the pictures of like his old flings, there's like Selena in there.
They show Lois,
Vicky
which is
Vale,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our #1 episode, guys. Those are our top 10 episodes of Batman Beyond. It's a great show, one of the best the DCAU has had to offer, and one of the best DC shows, period, I think, was Batman Beyond. It continued the story of Batman the Animated Series in a whole different way you never would have even thought of. We get to see Bruce as an old man, he's my favorite character in this. I mean,
Old man Bruce.
Yeah, Old Man Bruce is amazing, and I love him, and I love his interaction with Terry, and the fact that Terry is so far different from Bruce is just a really cool back and forth that you get to see them go through and everything. And they're the heart of the show, obviously, is Bruce and Terry. And then the other villains they created, like Blight and Spellbinder and Ink and other characters in the show, like the Return of Mr. Freeze is also very cool, obviously. So this is a really strong show. Any closing statements from you guys really quick?
I really like the Batman Beyond suit. Like, it's one of my
Yes.
favorite
Yes.
like costumes, suits, whatever in the entirety of the DC universe. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
it's
it still
streamlined,
looks great.
It's very badass.
It's
and,
still
like,
futuristic.
yeah.
Like you get like the little like jetpacky shoe thing.
Yeah, and then just the way that the
Jet
wings
shoes.
come out, it's very angular and like just I love the angles on it. It just looks
The mouth is
awesome.
a really cool idea that
Yeah, there's like no mouth
there's
there.
there's no mouth cut hole or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
And the eyes, like it just looks so good.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic suit.
I agree.
Music of the show is really,
It's so
really
so
good.
far removed
Yeah.
from the animated series and the orchestral stuff, but it's got its own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. Even that like opening theme song and stuff is
Oh,
like
love it. Gets you
if
so
Yeah.
pumped up.
It
Right,
does.
right.
If you're marathoning it, I recommend skipping the credits because then you hear like it back to back and you're like, okay. Like, it was enough for the intro, but I don't need the credits too. But man, yeah, that's a great theme song.
And
agree.
in general, it's held up really well. Like I enjoyed rewatching
Definitely.
this.
Definitely.
I mean, there's a couple of super like early, like late '90s ishness about
little
it, but
bit.
it's not bad. Like it's great.
Yeah.
It has stood the test of time.
I agree.
Well.
I agree 100%.
I kind of like mixing the nostalgia of the 90s with the idea of the future.
Okay, so where can we find you guys on social media really quickly? Heather?
You can find me on Twitter at Heather Roos or Instagram at HRoos.
All right, Porter?
Facebook.com/awesomeporter, and I'm pretty sure my Twitter handle is porkchop0289.
Start following Porter on
Yeah,
Twitter. We haven't
you have
promoted
a
it on the show,
Twitter.
but now
I have
we're
a Twitter.
on.
I don't really use it much, but I might now if you follow me.
All right, cool.
And, hey, shout out to you, Freak. You're awesome.
Shout out to Freak.
Whoa, Twitter follower shout out. I can't, there's a lot of you, I'm sorry. But I'm on Twitter, you can find me there, and a lot of you already follow me there. I'm also on Snapchat and Facebook. Facebook Guyana Wade, it's very easy to find. And a shout out to Legion of Collectors for my sweet swag. Thank you so much for, they sent me a Batman Villains box.
You get
The
the-
Pop Funko.
There you go.
Got
Awesome
got
mug.
mug, a sweet, sweet hat. Don't look at my hat hair. And a couple of pop vinyls that I collect.
stuff.
So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter at awesome_Walter as well, talking about all things comic book related, Rocky related, 40th anniversary. Guys, go watch Rocky. You do yourself a favor, folks. Go watch the Rocky movies. Feel good about
And
yourself.
top five.
And watch Top 5.
Your show.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're
you
watching
know.
it. Apparently you're watching it anyway, so I gotta tell you about that. But yeah, go ahead and watch Top 5 as well.
Don't
so,
forget to like this video.
Yes, like this
Go
video.
ahead. If you like Batman the Animated Series, you should give us a like.
Yes.
And let us know what your favorite episodes
yeah,
are.
what are your favorite episodes of Batman Beyond? What do you think that the show held up? Let us know in the comments below. Until next week, I'm Walter Bernasiak. These guys, as usual, are the best people ever. And we'll see you on the next page.